I think I've spent about almost 2 years, I don't know exactly how long, but just way too long a time now fantasizing about how it would be to just be on my own. And the amount of guilt that comes with that all the time is just terrible. I feel terrible. And just sitting in this home day after day and looking at even just the unrealized plans in our home. Forget about the unrealized plans for our lives. I sit here and I look around and it's suffocating. I fantasize and the sense of relief that comes with those fantasies makes me long for them to be true even more. And it's slowly killing me and killing us. And for me to sit here and night after night, when I hear you come in, to feel my heart sink, it's not right. And we tried the therapy, we tried talking, we tried not talking, we tried yelling, we tried crying, we tried pretending, we tried everything, and after a while it's just not right either that we should be trying so hard all the time. Try. Yeah, relationships work, but this much work means something is fundamentally wrong.
So there's this old place, right? This place right on the shore of a little lake called the Good Times. The Good Times Lakeview Restaurant. I waited tables there, if you can imagine it, for maybe, 5 months, just a couple of years ago. Used to be a rooming house during the Prohibition days, doubled as kind of a casino, brothel, speakeasy, hooch parlor type place. Anyway, they had the whole history painted on the menu like those places always do. Let me see if I can remember. There was the husband. He had something wrong with him. Some kind of condition. He was getting worse and worse all the time. I'm not even sure if he's dead or alive now, but he was real bad off. And then there was the wife. She basically ran the place. A recovering alcoholic. Habitual pill popper, if I recall. Emotional wreck of a woman. Man, they were hell to work for. And they had this little daughter too. She was probably 15 at the time. She had this perfect little body and this huge mess of dark curly hair. Made you real uncomfortable. I stayed on through the spring into the summer. I didn't make much money. Not nearly enough to compensate for all the bullshit we had to endure. But there was this other guy who worked there, one of the cooks. Big, strong-looking guy. Sort of imposing at first, but really pretty friendly once you got to know him. He and I became fast friends. He sold me some of the strongest coke I had ever come across, before then or since. Now, some people said that's all there was to us, but he lived in this tiny little apartment right above this old guy's carport with his girlfriend. I remember she had this tongue ring that was always knocking against her teeth constantly. And they had a little kid too, maybe just a few months old at the time. He had a mustache too. Not fully grown in, blonde, and it spilled over his lip so that it sort of moved around when he talked. Anyhow. Before we met, he had spent some time in jail. He would tell me all about it, though. All about his routine, you know, what he did to kill time as the days passed. How he, you know, people he met, friends he made. A lot of unexpectedly uplifting things. Anyhow, one night, we went out with this other guy, this kid I went to high school with. We laid out on about 1.5 grams, maybe 2, good enough for just one night. So we were just driving around aimlessly, just around and around, no place to go. Just driving around blasting the radio for like an hour. And, you know, after a while we got tired of it. So we went back to his house, the other guy, the kid I went to high school with. So we sat in his basement, all jammed up on this little couch, surrounded by musical equipment. Some of it new, but most of it old, antique. There was a disassembled drum kit, guitars, an old baby grand, a harmonium, and a stack of harmonicas. And I remember this perfectly. There was even a ukulele hanging on the wall right next to this old framed photograph of Greta Garbo. You know who that is? The Greta Garbo. Standing next to the old MGM mascot, Leo the Lion. You know, the one that roars right in the middle of the logo, right before the picture? So he's perched on this orange crate, facing her, looking real mean and hungry. And she's standing next to him just a few feet away, looking at the camera, just looking perfectly tortured. So we had the coke all laid out on this old snare drum. At one point, this guy, the guy I went to high school with, he excuses himself for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and he calls from the other room after a while and says that we should get ready for something, you know, prepare ourselves. He's got some kind of surprise for us. And he comes back in 2 inches taller, I swear to God, wearing green high heels, white stockings, a plaid mini skirt that stops mid-thigh, a pink button-down sweater, and a bra. He made sure that we could see that. You could see it through the sweater. It was like a white, sexy, lacy number. He even had makeup on, like a little kid. It just like, you know, splashed makeup all over his face. And so he just stands there, standing at the door, posing for us. And then he just walks into the room, sits back down on the couch, and we just continue on as if nothing has happened. So after a while, I look over and he's just, you know, digging all the extra coke out from inside of his nostril and, you know, rubbing it all over his gums and his teeth and his tongue. And his nose is so numb that he's got his finger halfway up one of his nostrils, like to the knuckle, I swear. And I look over and there's blood trickling down his forearm. And so when I call his attention to this, he just pulls it out in just one motion. And there's a flash of blood and mucus, and it splatters all over his hand and his face, all over the sweater, all over the skirt, down on the stockings. And he runs out of the room, and he comes back a few seconds later holding this bloody rag to his face, and he's just laughing and laughing and laughing. And he's just standing there wearing nothing but the bra, some panties, the bloody stockings, and the green high heels. wish, baby. You ever heard of one? How's it go? Drunk guy walks into a bar and he pukes all over his shirt, which was a brand new shirt before he puked on it. And he says to the bartender, wait, no, the bartender says, don't worry, and he puts a, hold on, that's not it. Okay. Guy walks into a bar, drunk guy. And he pukes all over his shirt, which was brand new before he puked on it. And he says to the bartender, wait, no, bartender, he says, damn, I puked on my shirt again. And the bartender says, not to worry, as he puts a 20 in the guy's pocket. And, wait, that's not how it goes. Okay, guy walks into a bar. He is very, very drunk. And he says to the bartender, hey, bartender, give me a martini. Okay, no. No. I don't know what to say to you anymore.
I wouldn't call myself a wolf, but I cry. I wouldn't call myself a thief, but I lie. I don't go for cake unless it's going to waste, and even then I let the birds have a try. I ask so little of this world that I love. I pray to God that He is happy above. It's not my place to call Him down to my face and tell Him all the things I think the world of. And I've never been